Day 2 of Build Something Real, where I'm showing the raw and filtered process of building a real-world application to solve a problem. If you are new in tech or trying to break into software engineering, how I would approach it. And I'm using a framework that's unfamiliar to myself so that I would go through the real steps. Now, yesterday we came up with a problem. We want to build a facial recognition app that we can use at our family gatherings to identify everybody who came. So we have a concept, but now we have to be able to visualize what we want to build. So for example, if you're a front-end developer, you need UI. You need the UI to build, to guide you as to what to build. If you are a backend developer as well, you also need a UI to let you know what your endpoint should return or what data you are going to process. There are many resources that you can use. So today we'll go through a few of the resources so that we are able to have a plan or something to look upon when we are building. So first is Figma. You may know a little bit about Figma, or you may have a few drawing skills. So as you can see, my Figma skills are probably 1/10. But with software engineering, I mean, we do UML diagramming, so flowcharts. So just something that can give you a sketch or an idea of what you want to build. Initially, I didn't want to have authentication because I'm using 14 days, but I realized, in a real world app, we are definitely going to have authentication. So why don't we have authentication? So let's say this is my authentication page or a sketch. So my splash screen for mobile, and then my authentication page and email password login. This is fine, but it hasn't passed the test. And thankfully, there are many free resources that we can use. So one of them is, Figma. So I search. So let's try something. So let's say authentication screens in Figma. Free. So I search for authentication screens in Figma for free. And then we see that it comes up with something for us, something that's usable, something that's workable, because we want to be able to build something real, So here we have it. We have some very cool authentication screens for desktop and mobile, which we can use. So email and password sign up, which we can use for our app. So that's one resource. The second resource is Behance. So you can go to behance.net and search. So authentication screens, mobile application design. Yeah, and pick something that is okay to you. This doesn't look bad. Yeah, but I mean, you get the idea. And then finally, Mobbin, which is very cool. Mobbin is very cool, very cool. It has all the resources that you need to get started with UI. So for example, let's start with the authentication screen. So you can search by category, what kind of app that you are building, and then what kind of screen that you are looking for. So we are looking for sign in screen or login screen. And then it gives us screens that we can use. So this is Patreon. And then we have our home screen. So the home screen for our app. I think this is one that I would like. I like the grid. So we'll have our recognize button, and then our register face button. So I think I like this idea of a design for our home screen. So that's the goal for day 2, to build up the structure of our app. Now I realize that I know what I want to build, and I can visualize what I want to build now, but how do I build it in Maui? That's the next thing. So instead of jumping right into code, I decided rather to go to the MS Learn docs and build out some of the simple or sample applications that are there. So to get myself familiar with the framework, because for every framework, like I said yesterday, there are different paradigms. So in front-end development, HTML, you will have a button, you have a div, you have a section, you have an article. But mobile is totally different. Like there are some similarities, but the paradigms are different. So the button, the grid, the properties, the different how to structure your elements. So instead of jumping right into code, decided to take a detour to build a few of the sample applications that you can see one here. And then tomorrow, that's day 3, we'll get into building all the screens for our application. And yeah, we'll see how it goes on day 3. So catch you tomorrow.